Okay, this is the latest video, so I can remember. I think today is the 22nd of July. Anyway, I finally painted underneath the car. I just used spray cans, cleaned it all up, got all the junk off of there. Anybody that might watch this, one problem I got is I got to order new fuel lines. These are rusted, and it keeps asking me, or the ordering book asked me, which side is the vapor line on. They said, do you want right or left? Well, not ever doing this before. I'm going to assume the vapor line is on this side, on the passenger side. I'm going to measure these in a second after I put the camera down. I think that's the main line, return line, and vapor line. I'm guessing that because that's the biggest line. I'll measure it with a micrometer or one of those dial gauge measures, and I painted a bunch of parts, and then I had ordered some. I'm in the process of rebuilding this. You can see here's the old one, ball joint. Here's the new one. They sent me one wrong one, one right one. You got to check everything. Somebody had been in this box and just switched it. So for anybody that's doing a rebuild, I would say when you order something, order it, print a picture of it, write the number down, and that way at least you have some kind of record for yourself even. So in these packages, I'm still going to go through them. Here's the body mounts. Body mounts and the frame and the subframe mounts. And then I sprayed that, sandblasted that. Then I ordered this. This is the front sway bar. You can see this metal piece is longer than that piece, which is the existing. But the bolt is the same length, so I could just cut this. I mean, I would assume this is right and that's wrong. But some of this stuff was rebuilt. Here's the calipers. I sprayed them. I'm going to rebuild them. You can buy them pretty cheap. But it's no big deal. You just blow the piston out and put a new one in, some new seals, and that's it. There's some old parts. Still gotta do some more cleaning. Took the Harley for a ride the other day, first time this year. I forgot to sandblast the sway bar. That's the front. You see how beefy it is? It's like, shoot, I don't know, 1.1 inches. Anyway, I think there was something else, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, sandblast. If you sandblast, I'd say get one of these shields, but here's the old one. Here's a new one. I mean, this is from Harbor Freight. I got this from Home Depot. This is like 10. It's like 14. But look what the sandblasting does. You can't even see through it. It gets to the point where you can't see through it. See, I'm looking through that one. And I'm looking through that one. So I'd say if you're going to sandblast, you might as well just get a cheap one from Harbor Freight. Oh, then I use this little blaster again. This is good for touch-up. You know, that shield was so dirty I couldn't see everything. That's really good for touch-up. It doesn't plug. Here's the new leaf springs. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think stock is 4. I'm hoping they don't jack it up too much. I mean, I want stock, but I didn't get it because they're a lot more expensive. I mean, they call those stock. Order new springs. Anyway, I'm getting there. I'm trying to make this short. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to go around and seam seal everything underneath there. Every place that has a seam, that's a factory seam. That's a replacement seam from this this replacement I put in. Replacement here. Just all these spots where water can get in. Yeah, this all should be sealed. You know, I don't know about these holes. I'm not gonna do those. Here's the bottom of the shifter cable, I guess. Let's see. I would like to say it's the gas pedal, but the gas pedal isn't there. That's the shifter linkage, so I just got it reversed or something. It goes like that. Oops, sorry. I know my videos suck, but it's kind of cool for me to look back on them. Still using this welding mask. This is coming good for spray painting, fumes. Got it from Miller. I bought a replacement filter. You can see it's due. And that's it, I think. Oh, and then they sent these with my package, which I didn't even order. I guess I should look up the parts. So there's the part number. Let's see, it's either that or this. I think it's this. What the hell are these things? Sway bar end link front 70 to 02. But yet, that's what these are. I don't know. Okay, these fuel lines have been bugging me. That I've been trying to order. I just set it earlier, like 10 minutes ago. I decided to actually measure it. You would think I would know this, but I don't. So I measured this one. Down here where it's clean. Where it's clean. You can see that. Let me back up. So the one on the driver's side, and you got 2 on the passenger side. You know, looking at this clamp on here, it actually says 3/8 and 1/4. That's weird. I don't know. That's probably because I sandblasted it. I don't think any of the other ones said that. But anyway, going back to this. This is not 3/8. So we got 3/8. Go back. I'm gonna zero it, make sure it was right. 5/16, 3/8, 5/16, and 1/4. 3/8, 5/16, 1/4. The reason I'm ordering new lines is because some of the fittings were so rusted on the old drums that they broke, and and the lines are rusted. And again, the reason I'm bringing this up because it was a struggle for me. I mean, it's the simplest thing, but in the classics industries, it says, do you want the vapor line on the right side or the left side? And I'm thinking, well, why are they asking me that? It must have something to do with, I don't know why. I have to talk to somebody that knows more about this than me. So that's it. I'm sure this is the main fuel line, and it's not the interior diameter. This is flared, so let me see. This thing goes all down to 1/28, so. A little more than 5/16 inside, but it's flared, so I don't know. Anyway, also, I don't know if I brought this up, but I figured out that I decided I want to keep this. I think I talked about this, but I want to keep the same rear end, the original rear end, but take the disc off of this car that somebody had modified. So it looks to me like it's a bolt-on. I haven't taken it apart yet. Another thing that could be different is maybe the axle length, but I seriously doubt it. But I'll find out when I get to that. Oh, so the emergency brake cables are going to be different. That's the point I was going to bring up. Because we'll go look at it one more time. I'm going to take this off the stand here. So the old drum brakes have an emergency cable like that. But the new one, the newer years, when they go to the rear disc, have a setup like this. The cable, I guess, is going to come through this end to here. You can see the little notch. So I can't do that with one hand, but I guess that's triggering. There's no drum, so it must be. Somehow it's triggering the hydraulics. Oh, another thing, if you take these apart, like this one's, you can see this one's all rusted up. And so are the front, but there's an O-ring inside of here that you want to make sure you order. So there's an O-ring in there. Which is somewhere in a package. And then if you order new brake lines, make sure you order you got to order an axle set. It's 2-piece. You can see 1, 2-piece. Right now I'm just wondering how the fluid gets to these brakes. I mean, which side does it go on? I'm just thinking out loud here. I mean, it's got to come from the front masters somehow. So I would say it's coming. So the main brake line must go into here. And it splits. So getting back to that, you got to order a 2-piece axle brake line, and then a brake line that goes all the way to the master cylinder. And for the fuel lines, for at least for this 76, and like I said, the book says there's 2 different kinds. I don't know where all that fluid's from. I just noticed that. Let's see, what would that be from? Oh, you know, I think that is, I had the transmission sitting over here, and it was leaking out the torque converter. So anyway, you got to order brake lines, you got to order the rear, you got to order the main line from the master to the axle, and then there's a 2-piece that covers the axle. And then if you have disc, you go order a separate cable if you're doing a conversion. So you can't order a 76 emergency cable, you got to order a 79. Now somewhere in here, right now we're looking at the cable coming out of from inside the cab when you push the pedal. Somehow it splits here, but I didn't have, again, that's all it was here. So just looking at it, I would assume one of these goes on each side. One, like this is, why it's like that, I don't know. Let me see. What I'm thinking is this should be over there. It's like you slip it in and pull it tight. But why it's on this side? Maybe somebody put this nut back on. But yeah, you can see that's all rusted. Anyway, every time I intend to make a short video, if anybody watches this and is in the same boat as me, maybe some of this stuff will help you. Let's see. Oh, also, I can't remember if this is the upper or the lower right now, but this bumper broke, so I had to order new bumpers. They're not that much. I just can't remember what is upper. Let me see. This is upper because this has got the. This is where you shim for your toe. I don't think it's toe in or toe out, but it's. I think camber. I think it's for the camber. These shims go here. I got them in a package somewhere. Anyway, I'm getting there. It's just you have to collect the parts, and you can't trust. Oh, another thing. I ordered a front end rebuild kit, but this piece right here in the middle, it didn't come with a kit. So I looked in a manual to see what it was called, and they call it, I think it's called a control shaft. But if you do a search for control shafts, no, they don't call it a control shaft. That took me an hour to figure out. They call it a, I can't remember, damn it. I got all my paperwork upstairs, I wrote it down. Center link or something like that. There's another term. Sorry guys, I'm getting old, I can't remember everything. But anyway, you got to get one of these because this bush, they don't sell this bushing. that I could find. Anyway, new shackles. Anyway, these are things that I learn as I go through. Oh, and I ordered a new fuel tank. Well, that's a bitch too, because this is a 74 car, but that tank won't fit in here. But yet, and you look in the but if you look in classics, it says 74 through like 78. So I think that's a bigger tank. I think it was bigger when I took it out. I think I showed that in another video, I think. And a friend of mine said they changed the body a little underneath here. I wish I had two lifts so I could have one car right next to the other. Oh, this is my seam where I welded. I'm gonna just put seam sealer on there. Maybe I'll go through and sand it down a little bit more. I just get... The other ones I cleaned up really good. But this one I just... I guess I just got sick of it. You can see I put seam seal all through here. And here's the top nut, I guess you call it, the top screw that I didn't take off. That's it. Sorry it's so long. Just things to watch out for and help with ordering. It's not like the old days. Well, I guess the old days I didn't. In the old days, I had an old car, and I used to sell all the parts at the auto parts. But you get into a car this old, you cannot go down to the auto parts store and get them. And then some parts, some people carry, and some parts other people carry. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, except the treasure you spend. Anyway, as I said a minute ago, I'm getting ready to put some seam sealer in, but that brought me up to another secret. No, maybe not secret, but I don't think everybody knows this. Is that there's two different kinds of caulking guns. For years, I bought this kind with this button. So, you crank it up, and then you have to push that button. If you don't, all the caulk just keeps coming out. But there's this kind that it doesn't have that button, and you don't need to do that. You can actually see it come back a little bit. Let's see if I can pull it out. It's got built-in play. Anyway, that's it. As a carpenter, I used to, caulk around a lot of windows and stuff. And these things are, you just start oozing this stuff all over the place if you don't push this immediately. And sometimes you're holding the gun in your right hand and you're up with your left hand. This one, you don't have that problem. I mean, it might drip a little bit, but it won't come out 3-6 inches. Or if you put it down and forget, it'll keep coming out until all the pressure's out. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, as I said a minute ago, I'm getting ready to put some seam sealer in, but that brought me up to another secret. No, maybe not secret, but I don't think everybody knows this. Is that there's two different kinds of caulking guns. For years, I bought this kind with this button. So, you crank it up, and then you have to push that button. If you don't, all the caulk just keeps coming out. But there's this kind that it doesn't have that button, and you don't need to do that. You can actually see it come back a little bit. Let's see if I can pull it out. it built in play. Anyway, that's it. As a carpenter, I used to, caulk around a lot of windows and stuff. And these things are, you just start oozing this stuff all over the place if you don't push this immediately. And sometimes you're holding the gun in your right hand and you're up with your left hand. This one, you don't have that problem. I mean, it might drip a little bit, but it won't come out 3-6 inches. Or if you put it down and forget, it'll keep coming out until all the pressure's out. Anyway, that's it.